Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, December 21st. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly. So if you guys want to hop in real quick, go ahead. I'm going to send the link out to the premium members shortly. Give me a few moments to finish setting this up and we should be good to go. Couple more things here to update. All right, solid, looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And Kenny's been winning like every FCMO contest thing. He won like 2 of them already, it looks like. All right, cool. Looks like people are making their way in right now. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. All right. Hey, sir. Morning. All right, guys. So good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, December 21st. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So it looks like people are still making their way in. As people join in, we'll go ahead and mark up the overall direction. I think there's only one news event today at 7 o'clock. Yeah, CB consumer confidence high impact at 7 o'clock, and then crude oil inventories at 7:30. So I'll go and mark that up right now. We got one at 7 o'clock and 7:30. Go ahead and mark that up over here as well. CB consumer confidence and oil. All right, solid. Hey, Maria, morning. Stern said there's the live broadcast of Biden. Zelensky is flying over to the US. Interesting. Thanks, Stern, for the heads up. Pretty sure when Kenny joins into this room, he'll probably send that over. Hey, Rashida, morning. All right, guys, 6:25 right now. Let me go ahead and mark up the overall direction real quick so we can kind of have an idea as to where price is going. Just keep in mind, guys, that this is Christmas week, so we're not really seeing too much of a directional movement, right? A lot of people are just taking the week off early because it's Christmas this weekend. So, don't be discouraged if you don't see any entries or if you don't see me post any signals or anything like that. The Forex market is actually really slow this week. It's pretty typical for the holiday week, so it's not unusual. It's normal for Christmas week especially, or just like the holiday weeks in general. The Forex market is usually the one that moves the slowest compared to US30 here. That's why sometimes we'll still find US30 trades, but we don't really see anything come up for like the Forex market. If you guys look at the Forex market, it's been pretty flat. The only time we had movement was on Tuesday or Monday, because we had I think it was Tuesday, because we had the Asian news. They released their economic data, and obviously that affected the market. But other than that, there hasn't been too much of a movement in the market. So let me see. Retail sentiment's 56% short, indicating that 56% of retail traders are currently selling. Typically want to do the opposite, but only when it's above 60%. So there's not really too much of a heavy weight of traders on one side or the other. It's pretty neutral for the most part. Fundamentals are up 200 points, so it's pretty bullish, which was anticipated because typically US30 is bullish towards the end of the year. But this year, it's actually taking a lot longer to have that bullish push. You can see here that the time frames are starting to shift up though. So the 1 hour was bearish yesterday. It's now bullish. Looking over at the 4 hour, it's still bearish, but it could be making its way up. 3 minute over here is now bullish as well. So it looks like majority of the bias here is going to be bullish, obviously, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, we're not going to force anything here. You know, we're going to take it as it comes. But yeah, everything here looks pretty much bullish for the most part. So we'll see if the breakout here is bullish. There's no sessions nearby, so we'll see how this plays out, but we'll use this to our advantage. Cliff's asking, hi, do you still do the breakout? I mean, we cover the breakout, but I haven't been taking it because I only take it when there's a confirmation of like direction. So we still look at the breakout every day. I just don't take it as much. I take it if it lines up with the confluences. If everything's bullish, then, you know, I'll probably hop into it, or if everything's bearish, I'll hop into it. But lately it hasn't really been aligned. Everything's kind of been mixed. Shorter term would be like bearish, long term would be bullish. So I mean, it's considered a risky trade when you don't have the overall direction and bias is aligning with it. So we're still looking at it, but I don't know. We'll see if I'll take it or not. I haven't really decided until I've seen how prices moved. I don't see any sessions around here, so it might be a decent move for entry. What I might do is I might take it for a partial move if it does close nice. But, you know, usually the candle in the breakout is typically really huge. As we get closer to the holiday, it's, you know, the market's going to slow down a bit, but we'll see, you know, where this takes us. Also, one thing for Zach's asking, what's the TP and stop loss for breakout? TP and stop loss is 500, Zach. Just a fixed TP stop loss. One other thing I wanted to mention is that my brother created this indicator. Basically, it's a momentum indicator, but it only comes up when they're aligned on all three time frames. So he pretty much just coded this for me, where if we have a buy signal that is on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute, we'll get this blue bar right here. So we can pretty much align it with our momentum. So like we have the regular momentum indicator right here, but this over here will let you know if it's like aligned with the other time frames. So it's pretty useful. I'll leave it on just to like, so that we can use this as an extra confirmation. I'm not going to use it by itself, but you can see here, you can see how this is a purple momentum. That's because all three time frames are currently red. So the 5 minutes red and the 10 minute is pending red. So it's a pretty cool indicator. I asked my brother to put this together just so that we have a better confirmation so we don't mess up the entries. You can see here that the 10 minute hasn't turned red yet. So now you can see it's appearing and disappearing. So it's pretty useful. So I'll just leave it on. We'll see how this will help us with our analysis. Otherwise, it's just going to be something extra. I'm having him code it so that we can have a signal only when everything's lined up, like the three time frames. So we'll be for sure when we see an entry here for momentum scalp. So he's working on that right now. Once he's done with that, he'll send it over to me, and then I'll try to make it available to you guys as well. It'll just help so you guys don't have the problem of like looking on three different time frames. I mean, it's better to look on three different time frames so that you guys can be aware what's going on the charts. But just for entry purposes, this is pretty useful, this indicator. So again, you can see here we have a sell signal, but it's purple because it's currently a sell signal on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute. So all three time frames, it's a red sell signal. The 10 minute here hasn't closed yet. So you can see here that it's pending. That's why you'll see this one turn on and off, because this here hasn't confirmed yet on the 10. But looking at this over here, we're still looking for a green candle, a strong green candle for the breakout. If we don't get that, then you know, obviously no entry there. 632 right now. So the reason why we're looking for a green candle is because we have an overall bullish trend with regard to the 1 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour. And we have a bullish momentum right here. So we're pretty much looking for a strong green candle here to close for the breakout. Still haven't decided if I want to take the trade yet. I have to see how the candle closes. I'm looking at the order flow over here to see how the orders are coming in. If I see a lot of like green candles or blue, I guess, orders over here, these are buy orders. This will probably indicate that price is likely to continue pushing up higher, but I don't really see many right now. It's pretty leveled out. Sometimes we got big blue numbers, sometimes big red numbers. So they're just balancing each other out. If we see a lot of blue numbers here that are really big, or we see price push up heavily, then this is going to indicate that, price is probably going to push up higher and higher from there. 6:33 right now. So we still have about 2 minutes until the breakout is over with. If we don't have the breakout, within that time, then that's a cutoff for the breakout. Yeah, no problem, Cliff. So you can see here, Cliff, if you're looking at the breakout right now as we analyze it, it's not a smooth breakout, right? Typically, you'll get the breakout on the first two minutes or so, and then it'll just go straight to TP. Right now, we're not getting that at all. It's kind of just going back and forth at the moment. So this is why I haven't really been taking the breakout. It hasn't been as smooth as it's been in the past. It's still been hitting though, so that's been happening. It's just not a smooth entry, like not something that I would be comfortable taking. So this might be the breakout right here, guys. If this closes as a strong green candle, this will technically be the breakout. And it did not close, so it's a red candle. So yeah, no breakout right there yet. Just got to wait a little longer. Thanks, Rashida. Rashida said it's rejecting off opening price. I forgot to mark that up. So we do have opening price right over here. And Rashida is 100% right. It's rejecting directly off opening price. That's an area you want to avoid. So if that's the case, then yeah, probably won't get a breakout here. This might be the breakout if it closes with a strong green candle. But again, as I mentioned, like Rashida identified, price keeps bouncing off the opening price right here. And you probably don't want to trade around this area anyways, because price might just bounce around here. Let me check the calendar real quick. Medusa, there might be news around that area. I don't think there was news this morning. Actually, there was 5:30. Thanks, Medu. I totally missed that. It was light impact, so I didn't really notice it. But let me go ahead and just mark that up as well. There's news at 5:30. So actually, there's a couple of red flags here. So not really an area where I want to trade in. It's 6:35, guys, so no more breakout. Breakout is no longer valid anymore. 5:30 right here. And right here. So I have a trade that's marked up right here. This is one that Zach actually identified. So Zach, I don't know if you saw my message, but Zach identified this as a momentum scalp variation. And yes, this was correct. So price closed below the pivots. It closed back above it right here. You were off by a minute. You said 5:31. This is 5:31 right here. So it was actually 5:32, but it's okay. This was a momentum scalp variation, and it did hit CP, like no drawdown. So solid way of identifying that there. I typically don't trade it outside of the live session, but you can see that it does work pre-market sometimes. As long as volatility is there, it'll probably work. But a lot of times volatility is kind of hit or miss pre-market or during the other sessions. Hey, Barack, how's it going? Morning. All right, so looking over here at the 10-minute and the 5-minute, everything is bullish, right? So let me put the requirements up here so that there's no confusion. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page here. So the strategy that I'm looking for right now is the momentum scalp, right? Looking over at step one, first you want to confirm that you're trading the direction of overall trend. So on the 10-minute over here, you can see that price is bullish in a bullish trend because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and price is angling up. Pivots are angling up. Same here on the 5-minute, same thing. Price is somewhat above the pivots. It's currently in between right now. So it's about bullish neutral. The trend meter down here is bullish, but the pivots are not aligned with the 10-minute over here where price needs to be above. So this is going to be a bullish neutral trend. And the 1 minute over here is actually bearish. Price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. So with that said, we don't have an overall trend right now. 1 minute's bearish, 5 minutes neutral bullish, and 10-minute over here is bullish. So with that said, we currently are still on step one. Cliff's asking, is order flow inbuilt in TradingView? It is, but you need to buy the data, Cliff. So I'm using YM right here. You can turn on the order flow on currency.com, but it's not going to show anything. You have to have the actual futures data, because this data here that I purchased, this is data directly from the exchange. So I have like raw data from the actual futures exchange. And that's why I have order flow here. If you turn on your order flow on currency.com or any broker, if you look at the US30 and you check on any of these, there's going to be no order flow, because you're getting this data from the broker and they don't have order flow. The order flow comes directly from the exchange. And that's how you'd get it. So if you have it there, you click on this button and then you'll see the orders coming in right here directly from the exchange. If you're on a broker, this will just be zero. You won't be moving at all. All right, guys, so we had a swing right back up right here. This again right here, Zach, would be another momentum scalp variation. Not one that I would take because it was at opening price, but just wanted to show you an example there. So looking at the 1 minute, it's now above the pivot. So with that said, if this 5 minute closes above here as well, we're going to be able to confirm the direction of overall trend. So once we have that, we can move on to step two. Step two is going to confirm momentum on the 10 minute. We already have that there, so we can skip over on that. Yeah, definitely, Cliff. It's useful. I mean, if you know, looking at order flow, you can see the actual orders coming in. Like these are orders coming in from brokers, you know, market makers, institutions. This is like pretty much anybody who's putting in an order for US30 or YM, which is the actual asset. So it's why it's worth it to pay for the extra data or the live data, because it does help with your speed, especially if you're day trading. Medusa possible bullish push, the high-low quick scalp in the 10-minute. Nice. Okay, good to know. So I'll keep that in mind, Medu. Thanks for the heads up. Looking over here, we're still waiting for this to close above. Also here on the 5, this has about 15 seconds left on it. If this closes in the next 15 seconds or so, we can confirm that we have an overall direction for a bullish trend. All right, so price is closed above here. Looking now at all the time frames, the 10-minute is bullish, price is above the pivots, trend meter is red. Trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. Same with the 5-minute over here, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, price is angling up. Here on the 1 minute, the trend meter hasn't changed yet, but price is above the pivots. So for the most part, it is pretty much bullish on the 10, bullish on the 5. It is neutral on the 1 minute right here, because you can see price is still bouncing back and forth between the pivots. So unfortunately, we can't confirm it just yet. We probably want to wait for this trend meter here to turn green, or at least stay blue with price above the pivots. Until we get that, we're not going to have a real confirmation as to the direction of price just yet, because price is just bouncing around. This whole week's kind of been choppy for US30, which is kind of annoying because it's hard for us to look for entries when price just keeps bouncing around like this. So you guys have seen US30 pretty much all week, Monday, Tuesday. It's been going back and forth, just a huge range the entire session. And it's doing the same thing here. I'm hoping that eventually, maybe when we reach news price right here, price will push up or push down. But we just don't have that yet. So here on the 1 minute, price is again below the pivots. So we do not have an overall direction of trend. This is bullish, this is neutral, and this is back to bearish. So we got to do these step by step. Some people have been asking me, or I guess one person asked me yesterday, why we didn't take any trades when all the trends were green, right? If you would have taken trades yesterday just because the trend was green, you would have lost trades because price did come down. The requirements here for this strategy are requirements for a reason, right? I'm not putting random requirements here. If the requirements aren't met, I'm not taking the trade. And that goes with having discipline and sticking to your trade plan. So just keep that in mind, guys. Every requirement that I put in the strategy, they're here for a reason. They're not just random requirements. Like, they're not fluff. They're meant to be there so that you can confirm the direction of price and direction of momentum. So just keep that in mind, guys, because I had a question yesterday asking, the trend was green on all time frames. Why didn't we take buys, and why were we waiting for momentum? That's because we're confirming momentum and we're confirming trend as well. you can't just have one or the other. I mean, technically you can, but you're probably gonna lose a lot of trades trading that way. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you guys are looking for entries here, because just because the trend here is green, you can get a sell momentum here and you can just basically blow your account. So keep that in mind. The requirements placed there are there for a reason. Hey, Kenny, morning. Yeah, Kenny, Surin said that there was like some Biden news today. I wasn't sure if you heard about that, because you typically are like in the loop with all of the political news. I figured you might have a link or something, but it's probably not happening yet. So David over here took some trades, looks like pre-market, and then one right after. Total profit of 136 for the day so far. Nice work, David. Looks like your entry could have lined up with the momentum scalp variation that came up right here. Or not right here actually. So nice work on that, David. Let's see, we got Barack over here. Barack's currently up. So Barack said, good morning, Sean. Got his share for the day. Thankful to God. Locked in a total profit of 4,058. So it looks like you took the same thing, Barack. You took a couple buys right here. Looks like, yeah, you took a couple buys. You could have entered right here too. Same entry that looks like a lot of people took. The momentum scalp variation. I didn't take that trade there, but I identified it. It was right at opening price, so it was kind of risky. But nice work right there, Barack. With your profit so far. So Barack's at 4,058, and then David over here is up 136. Yeah, Barack, I saw your email. I'll take a look at it after the live session to go over your strategy. I think your strategy aligned. It pretty much aligned with what I put down for you as well, right? So a little adjusted with a couple more requirements that you put in there, but I think it's pretty much the same thing. Melvin over here as well. Melvin traded not US30, Euro USD last night, locking a nice profit of 6,480. Nice work, Melvin. Yeah, Melvin took this trade. Yeah, these were last night, Asia session. Solid. All right, so we're back to the charts over here, guys. Just an FYI, we still haven't taken any trades for the live session so far today, so just keep that in mind. These profits that people are posting up, they took trades based off other strategies that we apply. And some of the other members like Melvin, he likes to trade Euro USD. He was trading that during Asia session, it looks like, Asia and London session. So for the live session today, we haven't taken anything, guys. We're still confirming the overall trend. The 10-minute over here is not bullish yet. I mean, it is bullish. The 5 minutes bullish, but the 1 minute here is not bullish yet. So we don't have an overall trend just yet. Question from Justin. Justin's asking, hey, Sean, does this strategy we're waiting for work during all sessions as long as there's actual movement and momentum? I mean, technically it does, but I personally wouldn't apply it during certain sessions or like certain times actually, because, you know, it's really hard to tell if there's actual movement and momentum, right? So like during Asia session, like I can probably show you over here while we're waiting for this to swing up. So during Asia session, it might look like there's movement here, but realistically, there's not really much movement, right? So if you look over here, and I'll just use this for example. I mean, it does work. It's just, it's not as easy to catch these moves because the thing is you have to factor in the spread as well. So, I mean, I haven't tested it outside of the live session myself personally, because I just don't like trading at night anymore. But I mean, looking at this over here, actually, there's no entry here because everything was pretty much bullish for the most part during Asia. But you can test it. I mean, if you want to test it, you're more than welcome to test it. It's just, I can't tell you whether it works good or not, because I'm looking over here during London session, and it looks like during London session, it does work well because the volatility is a little higher, but I can't exactly say for sure, right? So looking over here at London session, I think there was one right here, but if you look closer, this wasn't really moving directional. Yeah, this one over here looks like it wouldn't have played out at like 1:40 a.m. But you look here on the 1 minute and it looks like it's moving directional, but you look here on the 5, it wasn't moving directional at all. It's actually going sideways. So I mean, it's something you can test out. If you're trading this strategy during those times, you should probably trade something else, right? I don't really recommend trading US30 outside of New York session. But if you do want to trade it, it works on some other stuff too, like gold. So if you wanted to trade gold at night, like for example, this is a gold trade that came up at 4:43. 4:43 a.m. today. And this over here actually lined up and it hit TP. Yeah, so just looking at this over here at gold, this one came up like a few hours ago at 4:42. I mean, the strategy works pretty much for all assets. It's not just US30. So if you were to trade this outside the New York session, I would recommend trading it on a different asset like gold. I mean, gold's like one of the assets that kind of works all session, right? So this might be something that you want to play around with if you feel comfortable. But again, I'd recommend you just test it out before you actually try it. Because I haven't really tested it on gold, but I've eyeballed it. It looks pretty much the same. It's just gold is actually moving compared to US30. Yeah, no problem, Justin. All right, so looking over here back at US30, we still don't have the confirmation, or it looks like we're going to have it right now. If this here closes above the pivots, you can see the trend meter down here on the 1 minute is starting to turn green. If this here does close, and we'll have a bullish bias with regard to trend. So once we have that, we can finally move on to step 2, which is already met here on the 10 minute. Nice. Rashida said a double body just hit. Yeah, this one down here, right? Corrected right back up. For gold, you would use a different TP stop loss, Rashida. I'm not sure about gold because I don't trade it. I think for gold, you can probably do a 1-to-1. So I mean, just looking at the entry that I was just looking at earlier right here. So I don't know, because the spread's a little different for gold. Or actually, I don't know. It could probably be the same. I don't trade gold, so I can't really tell you exactly like what's a good TP, what's a good stop loss. Like if this is too wide, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. Maybe you could do even higher. I'm looking at these scalps. I'm just kind of measuring it in comparison to like how every other candle moves. Like I can't tell if this is a big move or not. If 100 pips is a lot on gold, then maybe use something smaller. But I can't really say because I don't trade it myself. So I'm looking at this one right here at like 539. This here over here, it looks like it would have been an entry, but it would have been a loss. I'm not sure if it was because it was close to the Asia high. So maybe that's something that you would have avoided. But, again, I'm not familiar with gold. So unless you guys trade gold, I'd probably play around with it first to see what the sweet spot is. But I don't personally trade gold, so I don't know exactly what to tell you guys with regard to TP stop loss. I would just make sure that it's like within the range, right? Like you want to make sure it's kind of tight, just like how it is with US30 over here. So possibly the same, if not different. I would assume it'd be a little bit smaller because, comparing the 1030 on US30 to gold, looks like 130 on here is a lot bigger compared to US30 over here. David said the markets this week are insane. Yeah, no, it's like very choppy this week, David. I agree with you 100%. Like looking at the 1 minute over here, we can't even get a confirmation of a trend, right? We have the bullish trend on the 10 and the 5, but the 1 minute over here is just messy. It's all over the place. So we can't even, there's nothing for us to really look at. Price is pretty much going sideways right here. If we were just to mark up even just the bodies of the candles right here, you guys can see that there's not really much direction, right? Realistically, if we were just to mark up range pre-market right here, you guys can see how many fake outs have happened right here. So this is pre-market range. Price pretty much faked out in both directions. Fake out below, shot right back up, another fake out, shot back down, another fake out, shot back up, and another fake out right here. So there's a lot of fake outs that just keep happening, right? Back and forth. There's no direction set. So it's really difficult to look for entries. And again, this is another example as to like why these requirements are required, right? Because if you were just to take trades based off the trend, because obviously the trend here is bullish, if you look on the higher time frames, you could just get caught in a lot of these whipsaws back and forth. So that's why it's important that you guys are paying attention to like what's required and what you need to confirm. Because yeah, sure, you can take buys here and get lucky, but the thing is the range here is so big that if you were to take a trade here and your stop loss isn't wide enough, it's easy for you to get stopped out because the range here is about 600 pips. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, Kenny sent me this link here. Let me see, Kenny, what did you send me? Let's see. Says Ukraine war news, Zelensky set to meet Joe Biden at the White House as Russia intensifies attacks. Is this right now? I don't know. It says September 2nd. Dates here is weird. I don't know if this is old. I guess it's old because he's still wearing a mask. Yeah, we'll see. Thanks, Kenny, for that. But anyways, back to US30. There's nothing here to really take right now, guys. We still don't have a confirmation of trend. So until we get that, we can't confirm step one. And until we confirm step one, we can't move on to step two. So yeah, this market's pretty trash for the most part. I was hoping we get some direction here. We have news coming up at 7 though. So I'm hoping the news, it's let's see if it's high impact. I think it's medium impact. We do have news right here. That's high impact CV consumer confidence. I'm hoping this will push price like super high or super low. Once it pushes out of this range, we can see if price will correct back down or if it's going to continue in the direction that it pushes. So we'll see. Let's see. Will said, "Hey Sean, can you check the NAS? Looks like it seems like it's moving well." Yeah, we'll take a look. So NASDAQ right here, using the same strategy, it's still pretty bullish here. So looking at the NASDAQ, it is bullish on the 10, bullish on the 5. I mean, it's ranging. Overall, it's ranging. So if you look at NASDAQ here, it's actually in a huge range, but currently right now it is bullish. So the 10 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 1 minute is also bullish. And it looks like possible entry could be coming up here for, actually not yet. Yeah, possibly a momentum scalp variation. So we do have a sell signal here. Everything's bullish. So we have a bullish trend on the 1, 5, and 10. If this candle here does close above the pivots, this will technically be an entry for momentum scalp. I don't know what the TP stop loss would be for NASDAQ. Again, I don't trade NASDAQ either, so I'm not sure what it would be. But I'm assuming if it was, 1030 like we normally do, that's what it would look like. But NASDAQ is coming right back down. I think this was a fake out right here, Will. Zach said that currency.com didn't show a sell signal there. Yeah, I think you're looking at US30, right? Yeah, no, you're good, Zach. We took a look at NASDAQ. So just real quick for Will. There's no entries here yet, though. If price does come back above the pivots, then possible entry, but it does not look like it's going to come back up. Price just shot up and it's coming right back down. So it's not really moving that smooth either. It's moving kind of similar to US30. All right, so let's see if price drops below. If price does drop below, we still need to confirm the overall trend. So we still don't have a lines of trend along all 3 time frames. The 1 minute here is still bearish, 5 minutes still bullish, and the 10 minute here is still bullish as well. So until we get a confirmation of alignment with regard to all of the time frames, then we don't have an entry yet. So here's the range that I drew earlier, guys. Price is still bouncing between. This is the same exact market that's been running from Monday and Tuesday. So if you guys remember from Monday and Tuesday, there was like no direction at all. Same again today, there's no direction. I have this range here that's drawn up. This is pre-market range. Whenever price fakes out below or above, it just pulls right back into the range and goes sideways. There's nothing there. All right, so the 5-minute here is no longer bullish. It's now currently neutral because it's right in between the pivots. The trend meter is still green, but looking over here on the pivots, this is currently looking like it's neutral. So the reason why we use both, guys, because a lot of people have been asking me this as well. The reason why we use both the trend meter and the pivots is because the pivots are faster with regard to identifying the trend versus the trend meter. So the trend meter is more of a long-term trend. Not really long-term, but longer than the specific time frame. This will show you a trend moving forward. The pivots over here will show you a trend real time, right? Because you can see when price goes above it, goes below it, goes in between. When price is above, it's bullish. When price is in between, it's neutral. When price is below, it's bearish, right? So this is a quicker identification of the trend. So that's why we use both the pivots and the trend meter. I personally use the pivots more. So I put more weight on the pivots because it's faster. But the trend meter below is just going to be an extra confirmation. Because we are scalping, so you definitely want to see like how price is moving in real time, and then also how price is moving on the longer outlook, which would be the trend meter. All right, if price starts to swing below, then we're going to have a shift in trend. Currently, right now, the 10-minute is bullish, but you can see price is coming in between the pivots over here. If price closes in between the pivots like this, then it's going to be neutral. When price pushes lower and closes below, then this is going to be bearish. Yeah, it's a really unusual market this year around. So if you guys remembered this time last year is pretty bullish. Typically it's bullish around this time, but I guess like this year it might start a little later, or because since we're going through a recession, we might not even have that bullish push because we only go into recession so many times in our lifetime, right? Like we pretty much lived through the last recession, but a lot of us were too young to really experience it. This is like one of the recessions that we're actually experiencing. So, typically a recession will happen once in everyone's lifetime, every 10, 20 years or so. So I don't know. I've never traded the market in an actual recession. I wasn't trading around that time, the last time it happened. So I'm not sure if this is usual or if it's just like an isolated instance where the bullish move hasn't happened yet, or maybe the bullish move might happen. It's just a matter of time. Here we go as price pushes right back up. It's a news candle, so we got news right here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark up news price. Oops, wrong one. All right, so this is CV consumer confidence. It's a news price right there. You guys can see here on this chart the fake out again, right? It's not really a surprise because this has been happening for the past 2-3 days. Price will fake out, come right back into the range, and then go sideways. Let's see. Can you send me another link over here? Yeah, I don't know why the dates here are wrong. Unless this is just a replay, because it says September 2nd, 2021, and I have live on. Let's see some news over here. Blast at major gas pipeline in Russia kills 3 people. The pipeline transports Russia's gas from Siberia to Europe through Ukraine. All right, good to know. Thanks, Kenny, for the link. All right, so I'm just looking over here on the chart. Price is right back into the range, not really doing too much. What we're looking for here to have confirmation of direction is we're looking for price to break above. retest and continue, right? So price is breaking above right here, looking for that retest and continuation. If we get that, then great, we'll start looking for buys. If not, we got to keep waiting because there's no confirmation here yet. But looking back on the trend, the 10-minute is bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 1 minute is now currently bullish, so we can move on to step 2. So step 1 is confirm that you're trading the direction of overall trend. Everything here is bullish, so we can now move on to step 2. Step 2, you want to confirm momentum on the 10-minute time frame. We have a buy signal right here, so we can move on to the next step. Step 3, confirm momentum on the 5-minute time frame. We don't have a buy signal here yet, so once we do get the buy signal, then we can start looking for the buy signal on the 1. So step 1's met, everything's bullish. Step 2's met, 10-minute time frame has bullish momentum. Step 3, confirm momentum on the 5-minute. This here is pending right here. So if this actually closes, then this will be a confirmation of step 3. Step 4, you want to confirm momentum on the 1-minute time frame, right? So once we have this confirmed, we can move on to the 1 minute, and from there we can start looking for possible entries. But we still need this here to actually close. So this has about 1:56 left on this candle. If this candle does close with a buy signal, then great. We'll start looking for buy entries on the 1. So as you guys can see right here, everything's systematic, right? I don't move on to the next step until the last step's been confirmed. This provides you, really a guideline as to like when to make entries. So you guys are never guessing. Like unless everything's met, you can't take entry. But once everything's met, then you can. So the next step right here, step 3, is we're waiting for this here to close. We have about 1:20 left on it. So once it closes, we can start looking for, we can start looking at the 1 minute for entry. So it's just all about discipline, guys. Like for this week, I only had 1 win. I only took 1 trade. So I have decent profit for this week, but I also have no losses. So that's a key thing. If you guys can focus on not losing, then that's going to be all the difference between you being consistent and not. Unless you're using something with a high risk reward, then, you can lose a bunch of times before you break even. But for us here, we're trading with a negative risk reward, so we need to have a high win rate to remain consistent. Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, Kenny says, as far as he can find Biden's not speaking until after our live session, which is a good thing. So thanks for that, Kenny, for checking on that. No need for it right now. Just hoping we get some consistency around here. So the 5-minute buy signal here did not close. We have about 20 seconds left on this candle. If the candle does close, then great, we can move on to step 4. If not, we got to wait for this to close. So we'll have to wait another 5 minutes for the buy signal here to actually close. So we'll see if it closes here. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle. This candle is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No buy signals. We got to wait for it on the next one right here. So we still can't move on to step 4, guys. We're still on step 3. Let's see, Barack said that's the kind of discipline I need in my training career. Sean, your discipline is super key because it controls your patience, bro. Commendable. Yeah, thanks, Barack. Yeah, no, that's really key, guys. Like if you guys can control your discipline and just waiting for these requirements to be met, you guys will find yourself to be a lot more successful, right? And in anything that you do, not just trading, but in general. It's really just waiting for a perfect time to make entry, especially with day trading and scalping. You can't just hop into trades at any moment and like pray it's going to hit your TP. So right now, no entry for us at the moment. I'll be looking for a momentum scalp variation as well. If I see them, I'll mark it up and I'll show you guys because we do have a bullish bias here. Like the trend is very strong for a bullish bias. So if we do get a momentum scalp variation, I'll mark it up for you guys so you guys can possibly take it if you guys want to. That's why I created that other strategy, because when market is moving like this, when the trend is strong, but we're not getting the confirmation of all the requirements, you can use the variation, which is very similar to the strategy. It's just, it doesn't require the momentum to show up, which makes it a little riskier, but it's still just as good because you're looking for these quicker moves that still happen, throughout the chart. So the 5-minute candle over here has 3 minutes left on it. We still got to wait for that. It's not really anything we can change. We just got to wait for it. Once that's confirmed, I'll put the requirements here for the momentum scalp variation, but we don't have an entry coming up yet. If I do see one coming up, I'll show you guys, but we just don't have one yet. In order to have this here, you need to have a retracement. So retracement and a retracement signal, which we just don't have yet. Barack said they'll dip it again, just like they did the last 3 days. It's becoming a habit. I know it's a horrible habit. It sucks. It's just a back and forth movement. So like right here, price is above. We'll see if this is going to be considered, an actual move or a fake out, because it's kind of just bouncing around this area. If it comes back into the range and doesn't actually bounce off it, then it's going to be a fake out. But if price comes back below, retests and continues up higher, then that would be considered a continuation. But we don't have that yet. 5 minute here still pending. We have 2 minutes left on it. All right, so we got some time here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. If there's anything you're confused about, let me know and I can go over it here. Otherwise, we're still waiting for this confirmation of either buy signal here or looking for a retracement on here for the momentum scalp variation. But we don't have this yet, so I'll leave this aside for now. All right, so we finally got the push right here. You guys can see where the push started. Push started from the news event right here, right? So news happened right here at 7 o'clock. Price started pushing up and it's continuing to push. So this is what I was hoping for. I was hoping that news would push price one direction so that we could have some sort of bias in the market. We have it right now to some extent. It's not necessarily complete yet, but it is there. So we'll see where this goes. All right, we got a 1 minute left on the 5 minute candle here. If this here closes with the buy signal, we can move on to step 4. So it's really just going down the list here, guys. The strategy here is super simple. You just have to go down the list, make sure everything's lined up. You guys can see here that when we're back testing it, it's a lot quicker because you can fast forward to the exact candle, right? When you're doing it real time, it does take time here to confirm because you have to wait for everything to actually line up. This candle right here has about 40 seconds left on it. If it finally closes, we'll move on to step 4. We don't have it yet, but hopefully it does close within the next few minutes or so. Yeah, Patrick said the 5 minute would be a triple confluence if it closes. Yeah, no, I can see it. It's closing right past this high right here too. Pat, I'm not going to take it, but if you guys want to take it, you guys can. So Patrick did mention this as a triple confluence. We have a buy signal, trend your screen, price is above the pivots. It's also closing above the high right here. So if you guys want to take it as a triple confluence, you guys can. I think this candle here is a little overextended, so I'm not really inclined to take it. I'll see if it retraces a little bit, maybe. All right, so we do have the buy signal there. I think a triple confluence on the 5 would be a bit wider though, right? It's not typically gonna be a 1030. Maybe you could do it 101. So I'll follow it right there, but I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna stick to my game plan. I'm only sticking to the momentum scalp variation, and high-low momentum pivot scalp. So yeah, exactly, Patrick. 250 to 500. So we'll leave that there and we'll see it. We'll just follow it. I think it's too big of a move, and I think price is overextended. You can't really see the overextension here on the 5, but you can see it here on the 1, right? Price is pushed up from this bottom part right here. So it's up 1,150 pips. So it's a bit overextended, right? That's why I'm not really inclined to take anything just yet. I'm looking for that retracement so that I can catch on this way back up. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm waiting for the 1 minute as well, Patrick. So everything's lined up here, guys. Looking over the requirements, we'll go over the requirements again so that you guys can pretty much ingrain this in your head, exactly what we're looking for, right? Step 1, confirm trading in the direction of overall trend. The 10 minute over here is bullish, prices above the pivots, trend meters green. 5 minutes also bullish, prices above the pivots, trend meters green. Lastly, the 1 minute over here is also bullish, price is above the pivots and the trend meters green, right? So step 1's been met. Move on to step 2, confirm momentum on the 10-minute time frame. We have a buy signal right here in the direction of trend, so that confirms it here on the 10. Going down to step 3, confirm momentum on the 5-minute time frame. We have the buy signal right here. That's going to confirm that price is bullish here in the direction of the overall trend. Next, step 4, confirm momentum on the 1 minute time frame, right? So we've confirmed everything here on the 1 minute. In order for us to get a buy signal here, we need to get a sell retracement signal, right? Because it's impossible to get two buys after each other. We already have a buy signal right here that happened way before, but we can't count entry on that point right there, right? We're looking for it to come up right here on the 1. So once we get the buy signal here, this is going to be step 5, and we can now enter on the next candle. So there's 2 entries here that are possibly setting up. We also have the momentum scalp variation. So if we get a sell signal and it closes below the pivots over here, if price ends up closing right back above it, then that's going to be a confirmation of a momentum scalp variation. This isn't an official strategy yet. This is just one that we're forward testing, but this is going to align with a momentum scalp. What typically will happen here is we might get a momentum scalp variation, and then right after that, we might get a momentum scalp right after it because it's going to be followed by a buy signal, right? So that's why we have these two kind of lined up with each other, because they kind of go hand in hand with each other. So we'll see where this goes. So no sell signal there yet. It was pending, but it didn't actually close. So we're basically looking for 2 things here. We're either looking for a buy signal or we're looking for a sell signal to confirm the retracement. But before we get a buy signal, we need a sell signal here to confirm the retracement. So we need that sell signal here to close. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle here. Once it closes, then we can confirm it. Let's see, question from Zach. Zach said, for the variation, since red candle closed below before pivots does it look like it's lining up? So you need a sell signal, Zach, in order for you to have an entry here. So even though it's a red candle, it's not going to fit the criteria. You need to confirm that. So step 2 right here, confirm retracement, momentum signal on the 1 minute. We don't have that yet. So once we have that, then yeah, you can look for it to come back up, but we need that sell signal here to close first. It's going to be step 2. So we've already confirmed step 1. We're in a bullish trend, obviously. Step 2, confirm retracement momentum signal on the 1 minute. We don't have that yet. So once you confirm the sell signal, which is pending right here, if it actually closes below, then you can move on to step 3. Confirm price is closed past the pivots. It's already done that. So we're going to skip step 3 because it's automatic. Step 4, we're going to confirm price close above, and that's where your entry is going to be identified. Yeah, Brock said looking at a buy probability, definitely. Cliff said he reckons it's going to tank down real hard later. Possibly, yeah, maybe mid-session for that mid-market reversal, maybe. But I mean, who really knows, right? We can't really predict it because the market's been so choppy lately that there's no real confirmation. All right, so we still don't have the sell signal here. The sell signal is starting to, I mean, it keeps appearing. It's appeared in the last 3 candles here. Sell signal, sell signal, sell signal. Once it actually closes, we can confirm it. So the trend here is still pretty bullish on the 10 and the 5. So we don't really need to look at the trend very much. I'm basically just waiting for that sell signal there to close. So if price just closes above here, it's not going to be a momentum scalp variation. We need that sell signal to confirm it, step 2. So we're still on step 2 right here. Confirm retracement momentum signal. The reason why you're doing this is because you want price to, like, say, for example, you enter a trade right here, right, Zach? If you enter a trade here, price can still retrace because it hasn't confirmed the retracement yet. So this right here would not be an entry. Because you want to be sure that the retracement has been confirmed. Price is still overextended. Price did retrace here slightly, but there's no confirmation of the actual retracement that's been confirmed yet. So you can see right here a double top, or not a double top, but a double body right here. This can easily be a shift right back to the downside. There's actually a variation right here too. Double body, pending sell signal. This can easily just drop further. So Zach, do you see right here exactly why you would wait for it? I just want to show you guys examples why the requirements here are necessary. Because if you took the trade right here, didn't wait for the retracement momentum, you'd be in drawdown right now, right? So that's why I have these requirements here. I've tested these back and forth. I've tested these for so many possible trades where I figured, like, I did run into this issue a lot of times. Initially, this was the strategy. I didn't use a retracement momentum. But once I started to realize that if I started to implement that, that would increase my win rate, dramatically. So that's why I added that into there. And now it's one of the baseline requirements. So whenever I create a strategy, guys, I usually start with like the most basic type of requirements. Like this strategy initially didn't even have overall trend. It was just looking for retracement and continuation. But then I realized, okay, there's still a lot of losses that would happen here. So I incorporated momentum signal retracement. And then from there, I incorporated the trend. Typically, if you guys want to trade momentum, there's only a few things that you guys need to confirm. It's always going to be trend, momentum, and rejection prices sometimes. It's just always going to be incorporated, especially if you're trading this way. Jalon mentioned, keep in mind it's on 4-hour resistance. Thanks, Jalon. It's good to know. Yeah, so Jalon mentioned that it's at a 4-hour resistance. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, it's right at the sessions too. So price is still retesting here. So this is the retest that I marked up earlier. Price is still coming down to retest the range over here. So one of two things will happen. Price will either retest the range and then, sorry guys, retest the range and then continue back up, or it'll break through and just go back into the range. So we have a possible entry here for the momentum scalp. If we get a buy signal right here, it's also going to be an entry for the momentum scalp because we currently have everything lined up. We just need this here to close with a buy signal, or we need price to close above the pivots. If this here happens, then there's going to be possible entry, but it hasn't happened yet. So this might be a double entry. So here's the main things that we're looking for, guys. For the momentum scalp variation, we're looking for price to close above this green pivot right here, right? Or any pivot. It has to close above all the pivots. That's going to be for the momentum scalp variation. So right here, price is above the pivots. If it closes above, then this is going to be an entry for a momentum scalp variation. If it closes with a buy signal, then this is going to be an entry for the momentum scalp, the actual entry that we're looking for. So just keep that in mind, guys. There's two different types of entries here that we're looking for. If this here closes above without the buy signal, it's going to be a momentum scalp variation. If it closes with the buy signal, it's just going to be a momentum scalp. So we'll watch and see where it goes right here. Let's see. Has about 16 seconds left on this candle here. So we're still looking for the buy signal, right? The buy signal is going to be the actual entry. This right here is going to be the momentum scalp variation, but it still hasn't closed above it yet. So it's a little iffy right there. If the buy signal closes on this next one, then this is going to be a momentum scalp. So if you guys took the momentum scalp variation, looks like it's about to hit TP. Yeah, it looks like I already blasted through it. I took that trade there, locked in a total of 1,360. If we get a buy signal here on the next one, then this will be another entry for the momentum scalp, the regular momentum scalp. So full TP right there. Nice. Will took it as well. Full TP on that. So there you go, guys. Looking for a buy signal here. If a buy signal closes, then it'll be opportunity for another entry there. Patrick got it as well. Nice. Okay, this candle here is too big. I'm not going to take this for a momentum scalp. This is a momentum scalp, but it's just way too big of a candle. If it retraces, it can get close to your stop loss. So I'm not going to take that specific one if it does close. Just an FYI, guys. Okay, it didn't close there. Market still is starting to get a little jumpy here. So you want to be careful because we also have news coming up right here at 7:30. I think we have oil inventories coming up. All right, so let me just take a screenshot of my profits. If this here closes like this, like a red candle or invalid, I'm probably not going to take it, just FYI, because it's just, it's not looking. I mean, the market started moving kind of funny right now. It's like going back and forth and these bigger spikes kind of going around. Nice. Brock took it as well. Yeah, definitely. Brock said, took it, Sean. Good one. Definitely. So no buy signal there yet. We just want to be a bit careful because we do have news coming up soon. So this is what I mean about being patient, guys. If you guys can wait for these perfect entries, the entries are going to come to you. You just got to wait for them to actually come up. Like for that last entry, we didn't force anything. We just waited for it. And then it came and hit our TP. This candle here might be a little too big. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this candle here might be a little too big. We'll see. We got 30 seconds left on it, so it's still a lot of time. I'm really curious to see what TFF gave me. I'm hoping TFF gave me some good profits on this one. If it didn't, I'm going to be pissed because they've been giving me crappy profits like pretty much for the past couple of days. All right, let's see. All right, so this here would be a momentum scalp entry, but as I mentioned, guys, I think the candle here is too big. So I'd probably wait for it to come back down and then maybe get a late entry if I could. So I'm not in this position yet. Fucking TFF. Yeah, TFF screwed me again. I'm not surprised. I was joking about that earlier, but they did screw me again. I'll show you my profits. TFF's been super off. I think I'm gonna stop trading on it for a while. I'm just gonna take it off my copier because they're just not, they're not good. I missed this trade. It's all good. If you guys take the momentum scalp, looks like it's running right now. I was waiting for it to pull down a little more, but I didn't get into it. Looks like it's gonna blast right through TP too. And it did. So if you guys took it full TP right there, great work, guys. I didn't take it, so it's all good. I'll mark it up for you guys. Nice. Looks like some of you guys here did take it. Stanley said didn't take that one. Thought you'd mention you'll get in the trade beforehand. I thought we did, didn't we? So I pretty much I've been giving you guys a heads up for like the past hour, Stanley. I said if the momentum scalp variation came up, I'd take it. And I said if you get a buy signal here, you'd also get an entry. I don't. Did you just get on, Stanley? Maybe you just weren't on for a while because I've been saying this for like the past since we got on the live since 6:30. I've been saying if this here closes above it, then it'd be an entry, right? And then I said if there's a buy signal here, then it'd be an entry for the momentum scalp. So I'm not sure if like if you probably weren't on, so you probably didn't hear me. But I've been mentioning it for like the past hour. So everyone is looking for it. That's why everyone took it. But it's all right if you missed that one. It's cool. I know you haven't been around for a while, so you're probably not even familiar with these strategies, so you don't know what we're even looking at. If you want to have a refresher, go ahead and review like the previous live sessions because we go over the same thing every day. We're just applying 3 strategies now, so it's like really hard to screw up, right? Because like you're looking for the same thing every single day: momentum scalp, and the other one, momentum scalp variation. This one. So yeah, if you want a refresher, Stanley, just let me know. I can go over the requirements. Because it's not really that hard to follow. I already have everything lined up here and I already have the arrow pointing at the next step, right? So like for step 4 over here, price closes past the pivots. It closed past the pivots right here. The next step after that be enter after close. Same with the other strategy over here. We already confirmed everything. So it was on step 5. You're just waiting for the momentum signal. So yeah, I mean, if there's any confusion, guys, just let me know. I know a lot of you guys here are either new or you haven't been around for a while. So you're probably not familiar with this strategy, but we've been applying these strategies for the past couple of months now. I've pretty much changed our live session where we're just focusing on 3 different strategies, which are pretty much the same thing. They're just one small variations to them. Like this one doesn't require a momentum signal. This requires a pending momentum retracement. This one over here requires a momentum signal. So this would be your entry. For the high-low momentum pivot scalp, this one over here, and we don't even really look at this one too much, but this one's just like an add-on to the momentum scalp. It doesn't come up very often, so that's why we don't really look at this one. But for the most part, this is like the main one that we're applying. Momentum scalp right here. let's see, Stanley said, yeah, no, exactly. So Stanley said he was on, but he was struggling with taking trades since you mentioned it might be risky. Sometimes, like sometimes you don't take them. Sometimes I think you'll take them, but you don't. And I do, and I lose. So he's hesitant to enter. Yeah, no, I got you, Stanley. So, but yeah, no, for that variation right there, that one was a little iffy because I mean, it didn't really close like right away, right? It was kind of like, so if I rewind to that candle right there, that's why I was waiting for it to close. And then when it actually closed, I hopped in, right? Because it was super close to the pivot right there. Typically, you want it to be something like more clear like this right here, right? This right here was like way past it. So you could have just taken that and not really worry about it. Would have went straight to TP. This one right here, I was waiting for this one though. So for this one, I did mention on the live, I said I was waiting for this one to close. If it closes above, I was going to take it. And it did close. That's why I took it. But I had to wait for it to actually close. That's why I couldn't really like tell you, hey, Stanley, I'm taking this trade. Because if I told you I was taking this trade, it already blasted through TP, right? So it'd be too late for you. So it's important that you guys actually practice this on your own. I know it's a lot of you guys want to just take what I take here on the live, but I want you guys to actually practice this stuff on your own so that you guys can anticipate the move. Because this thing just moved too fast. That's why I wasn't able really to say, hey, I'm in this position, because by the time I said I was in this position, we would have been at TP already, right? So yes, and I know you haven't been on for a while though. So like just make sure that like when you are on, just like practice it on your own too. If you want to do it on a demo account, just practice taking these trades and identifying them yourself so that when we do take them, you don't really have to think too much about it, right? Because I'll give you a heads up. Like if I'm looking for a trade, I'm specifically going to tell you, hey, I'm looking for this specific trade here. I might not be able to tell you as I get in because it's going to happen too fast, but at least you'll like feel more comfortable. Because I feel like the trade that you've taken before, like I specifically say it's risky, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to take this trade. And that happens with a lot of people, right? I'll say, hey, this trade is really risky, I'm not going to take it. But then a lot of people still take it, and then they end up losing. But when I'm looking for something specific, I'll kind of give you a heads up before, like, hey, I'm looking for this to close. But this here was a little bit iffy. So I do agree with what Will said. He said he thinks Stanley was saying the trade was iffy because to close below the pivot. And I agree. But anyways, here are my profits for that trade. So that specific trade that we took right there, this one right here, I locked in 1,360 off my FTMO. You can see the green strip here. I let it hit full TP. My FTMO number 2, locked in 1,210. My MFF number 1, locked in 1,110. My FTMO number, MFF number 2, 1,010. MFF number 3, 1,110. And then my TFF, of course, it gave me small profit, 400. So I'm going to take my TFF off my copier, guys. Let me see if I could, or I might leave it on there for another trade. We'll just see how it plays out. But this is a huge difference. My main account over here locked in 1,360, and then my TFF gave me 400, which is a huge difference. They've been doing this pretty much for the past 2 weeks now. It's getting kind of annoying because we've been hitting our profit targets, so it should be on point. CT said he only got 960 on his MFF. Yeah, everything else here was pretty much solid for me. It was above 1,000, which it should have been. And then my personal account right here, $3. So let me just give another screenshot over here for the other one, Momentum Scalp. But it's all good, Stanley. I'll try to be a little more vocal about like when I'm making entry. But for the most part, if I say it's risky and I say I'm not going to take it, I'm for sure not going to take it. But if I say it's risky, but I'm going to wait for this here to close, then I'm probably going to take the trade. I usually say for sure if I'm not going to take it. But if I'm going to take it, I'll say it's risky, but I'll still be looking for the entry. Every trade's risky. There's no getting around it, right? Every trade's going to be risky. It's just depending on like what other factors are factored in. So let me see, we got this right here. All right. All right, so we got this right here. Yeah, exactly. CT said if he isn't blinking while he's in the trade, that's literally what it is, right? CT. If I'm staring at my MT4, I'm definitely gonna get in the trade. So that's the entry indicator. Let me go ahead and update this real quick. So I'll go over everyone's profit so far, and then we will move on with that. There's no entries right now, guys, so don't worry, you're not missing anything. I'm looking at the chart still. There just isn't anything there. All right, let me just copy this over real quick to my profits for the day. And then I will send this out to the rest of the group. So there's a lot of people here who posted profits. If you guys have any profits to post up, feel free to send them out. I'll go over everyone's profits right now as we wait for the next entry, but we just don't have the next entry up yet. Pretty much got to wait for it at the moment. Oops. Yeah, so looking over here at US30 or YM, whatever you want to call it, there's no entries for us right now. So we're just got to wait again. Everything is bullish though. So we're looking for the momentum scalp variation. I'm looking for it to come back down. We need a retracement signal. Once we get that, we can ride it for another push to the upside. But right now we don't have that. So we need price to come back below here. And I need it to push up from that point. So I'm looking for the momentum sell signal to come below here. And then once it comes up, great, we're going to look for the entry from there. It's basically retracement. And then continuation back up. Same with the momentum scalp entry over here. Everything's bullish. So looking at the requirements here, everything is still met. The one thing that you want to be careful for is that price is super overextended. You can see how price is pushed up super heavily from this area right here. It hasn't retraced down yet. So we have overall direction of trend. It's currently bullish. Momentum on the 10-minute still bullish. Momentum on the 5-minute still bullish. Now we're looking for momentum here on the 1-minute. Once we get that, we can take a trade. So we need a retracement, confirmation of retracement with a sell signal. And then once we get that buy signal, we can take the trade to the upside. Same with the momentum scalp variation. We need a retracement. So we need a sell signal to close below the pivots. And then once it closes back above, that's where we can make entry. So you guys can see that these strategies are pretty much the same thing, right? There's only one difference. This one confirms momentum. This one confirms retracement. So that's pretty much it. That's all you're looking for. This is just straight momentum. And this is you're looking for price to retrace back and then continue in the direction of momentum. But we don't have anything yet. So let's take a look at everyone's profit so far for the day. So you guys saw my profits up there. We have Deswell over here, total profit of 1,148. Nice work right there, Deswell. Let me scroll down a little further. Let's see, we've got Nelly over here. Nelly locked in a total profit of 4,874 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Nelly. Looks like you took a couple trades earlier today as well, applying the other strategies. So nice work with your consistency. Man, you've been killing it, Nelly. So, I just want to give a shout out to Nelly here. You guys have seen Nelly's profits. Every day he's on fire. 4,000 for today, 1,400 the day before that, 9,000 last week. 800 the day before that. Nelly's like, he's found like his groove. Like he's super consistent now. 6,000 day before that, 3,000. So every day he's on point, right? If you guys saw like Nelly's profits before, they weren't like this. Like he was having like a lot of inconsistency, a lot of FOMO trades and stuff like that. But now that he's kind of found, his discipline, he's able to lock in some pretty good profits. So, shout out to Nelly over here for keeping it up. Because I know Nelly, like at some point he was struggling, but he's back on point with his consistency. So that's really what it is, guys. If you guys stay consistent, you're going to eventually find success. You just have to find out where you're messing up and you need to figure out how to fix that, because that's really what it is. I give you guys a blueprint here. You guys know exactly what I'm doing. And you guys can literally copy the same exact trades I'm taking. So if you just trade during the live session, you guys can make a lot of profit and then just call it a day. Once you wrap it up, really wrap it up and not force any trades after the live session is done. So yeah, great work right there, Nelly. We have CERN over here as well. CERN's currently up 1,383 for the day. So nice work right there, CERN. Currently up pretty heavy. Rashid over here as well. currently up 1,120. Yeah, great work with Rashida too. You know, a lot of you guys here have been here for a while, and I've seen a lot of you guys go through your ups and downs, but you know, lately a lot of you guys have been pretty on point. Like Rashida's profits here every day, 1,100, yesterday 1,400, you know, day before that 500, day before that 200, day before that 1,267. So that's the consistency right there, guys. From December 12th up until December 21st, you know, Rashida's been on fire, consistency every single day. So other than that, guys, let's see. We got Patrick over here as well. He's currently up 1,750. Nice work, Patrick. Yeah, he said he had a rough start right here. He had one loss last night, it looks like 4,000, but then he made it right back over here. Total profit of 1,750 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Will over here as well. He's currently up 302 for the day. Nice work, full TP on that. I see your green strip. So solid profit on that. And then Barack over here as well. He made about 2,855 off that last trade. Nice work, Barack. Patricia over here, she's currently up 3,050 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Deswell over here, 1,148. And then Kenny, thanks for this link right here, the one that you sent me. All right, guys, so I think that's it for right now. There's no other profits to be covered. There's no other trades to be taken right now. Momentum scalp, we don't have that retracement signal. We're looking for the sell signal here to come up so that we can get a buy signal. But we don't have that yet. It's 7:38 right now, so we still have about 20 minutes till 8. So hopefully from now until then, we'll have at least one more entry. Otherwise, I think we're pretty much good overall. You know, keep in mind, like 1 or 2 trades a day is good. If you guys can do that daily, your profits will continue to add up over time. Let me scroll up real quick. Let's see. Stanley said, is everyone here that consistently shares profits funded? I'm trying to pass the challenge and get funded. My business is getting slow for the winter. For the most part, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, it wouldn't really make sense for someone not to be funded or to like be trading on a demo account if they're going to be showing profits every day, right? So I can't say for sure because I don't ask these people. Like, I don't like getting into people's business like that, and I don't really care, right? Like for me, everyone should be focusing on their own accounts and their own bag. But I'm assuming they would be, Stanley, in my perspective, because like if someone's posting profits every day, like for example, me, I'm trading live with you guys every day, and I practice what I preach, right? I tell you guys I trade from 6:30 to 8, and then I'm done. So if I'm posting profits like this every day, there's no way I'd be trading on a demo account. And at that, trading on like 6 demo accounts, right? It wouldn't make sense. So I'm assuming everyone here is either funded or on their way to being funded. So I can't say for sure, but it would make sense, especially if people are posting consistent profits daily. As long as they're posting profits and they're not trading after and then taking losses after, then it would be a positive assumption that these people would be funded at that point. Because realistically, if you like add up people's profits, like Rashid over here, right? If you just look at every day, like realistically, you need what, 10,000 or 20,000 to pass your challenge, right? If you add up your profits every single day, 1,000 for today, 1,400 for yesterday, 1,055 for the day before that, basically the month of December, right? The entire month of December, if you just add up the profits from every profit post that she's posted, 200, 700, 1,200, 260, like this is going to add up to a past challenge. So you guys just got to be real, right? So if you guys are sending me profits, you got to make sure that you guys aren't doing your own thing after and then not sharing the losses, because that's kind of, whatever you do behind closed doors, that's going to come out, it's going to come to light at some point if you're not funded at the end of the month, right? Because you should be funded if you just stick to these live sessions. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, Madhu said he's currently in a challenge. This would be his first funded account. Nice work, Madhu. Yeah, so Madhu's been pretty consistent. I think, yeah, you should be close to being funded soon, Madhu. So, yeah, definitely, guys. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that we're missing. I don't see anything else here for us to take, so don't worry, guys. We're not missing anything. I know I'm kind of rambling off a little bit, but there's just nothing for us to take here. Yeah, Stanley said some have been here for a while. He's seen a lot of growth from us. Yeah, no, definitely, Stanley. I've seen it too, and it's great. Question from Cliff. Cliff's asking, do key levels affect the strategy? I mean, not really, Cliff. The only red flags that we have here are going to be price points. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you're talking about key levels as like whole numbers, right? So if that's what you're talking about, then I don't really look at that. Like if I see an entry here and it's at 500, I'm taking the trade, right? So like 33,500 right here. If this is an entry for me, I'm still taking the trade. Same with this entry over here, right? So this entry came up at 33,400, like around that point. I still took the trade. This is where we took our buy there. If that's what you're considering a key level, then no, I don't regard that at all. I still take the trade. I don't even look at that. The key levels that I do look for are going to be opening price. Well, they're not even called key levels, they're called key price points, right? So I don't trade around opening price. I'll just put the red flags right here for you, Cliff, because I don't follow it. I mean, I understand what you're talking about, but I don't follow that. So the only times when I avoid trades are when price is near sessions, which will be the Asia high, New York high, London high, etc. So I don't take trades when price is near sessions. This is a key level, a key price point, whatever you want to call it. Whenever price is near opening price, this blue line here is where price opened from. I don't take any trades near that. Whenever price is near news price, any of these pink lines, I don't take trades when it's near that. Or if the candle is too big, I'll make a late entry, or if price is ranging. So there's no key levels that I look for. These are the key areas that I look for. So short answer to your question is no, I don't think they really affect the strategy because our strategy is based off momentum. So those key levels are actually going to be beneficial for us because if it breaks past the key level, it's likely to continue pushing past it even further. So let's see. Barack's asking if news price, market price, or news price, market open, etc., is considered key, then it does contribute to entry criteria. Yeah, exactly, Barack. Thanks for the input. Barack said, Sean, have you recently maybe in the mentorship session covered the order flow aspect of live trading? I'm interested in knowing a little bit more about this, especially application. So for me specifically, when I use order flow, I don't use it by itself. So say, for example, we have a retracement, right? And I'm just going to show you this as an example. This isn't actually how, this is how I use it, but I don't really use it too much. Say, for example, we get a retracement here, right? And say price comes up with a buy signal. And we have a buy entry right there. If I want to be very sure about the position, what I'm going to do is I'll open up the order flow right here. And you guys can see the blue numbers and the red numbers, right? The blue numbers are buy orders that are getting filled. So these are all the buy orders that are pending. This is basically one contract. This is going to be the sell orders. So if I'm looking for a buy here and I see a lot of buy orders coming in, right? So I see like maybe 7 orders, 10 orders, 12 orders, and they're way bigger than the sell orders, then that's going to give me confidence that price is likely to push up enough to hit my TP because I'm only going for 100 pips. So if I can get at least some volatility in my direction, then I'm golden, right? Because it's going to hit my TP. So that's how I personally use it. I don't use it standalone. This order flow here is not exactly the best one to use because you kind of want to see the tape measure where you can see all of the numbers here, right? Because when you're on a different broker, like level 2 or level 3, you'll see that there'll be a lot of numbers here, not just one, but you'll have a lot of numbers here indicating how many orders are pending. So for me, I just use it as a confluence for entry. If I see a retracement signal like this right here, I'm like, okay, if I get a buy signal next, I want to see a lot of big blue numbers here. So I want to see like this to be like 10 orders, 11 orders, 12 orders. And I want to see like less than 10 orders here on the sell side, because that's going to confirm that, okay, price is probably going to push up at least enough to hit my TP so I can get in and out safely. That's basically how I use it specifically. There's different ways to use it. I think we have a screenshot here from like when, or I don't have it right here, but I remember that yeah, and another thing that I want to tell you, Brock, is that you shouldn't have too many requirements, right? Because if you have too many requirements, you're never going to have any entries. So like, let me see if we have one right here. So this is what Alexander's looks like. You can see that his order flow here has more orders. Let's see. This right here is typically what like a better level 2 would look like, because it'll show you how many orders are pending on both sides. So I think this is what he uses on, or it's on a different broker. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, this is what would be better if you wanted to use that specifically. But another thing that I wanted to tell you, Brock, is like, don't overcomplicate your strategy, right? If you put too many requirements, you're never going to have any entries. You're going to be too scared to take anything. A lot of us call it, analysis paralysis. You're just going to be too scared to take any entry because not everything lines up, right? So I don't even think order flow would be necessary for your, like, especially for your type of trading. Or actually, no, your type of trading, it would work well because you're momentum trading as well with your CCI. So this might be beneficial to you, actually, since you're just trying to catch momentum pushes further in that direction. So this here is not, it is available by default, but you're not going to have this data unless you pay for the data, right? If you try to open this on US30, it's not going to come up. So let me just pull it up real quick. So if I pull up US30 on currency.com, see the order flow over here? There's nothing, it's zero. And it never changes because you don't have any actual data here. Like the brokers don't have, well, they do have the data, but they're not giving you the data directly from the exchange. So this is if you're looking at current US30 on a different broker, like Black Bull or something, there's nothing happening here, right? If you're looking at YM, I get my data directly from the exchange. So the exchange is telling me exactly who's putting orders in. So yeah, it is available by default, but you can't see it unless you're on an actual, if you're connected to the exchange, not connected to the broker. All right, so we have the retracement signal right here, guys. I'll see if price pushes back up right here. If it doesn't, then it's okay. I'm not going to force anything, but we're looking for, and we're looking for both here. We have possible entry for momentum scalp variation. We also have possible entry for regular momentum scalp right here. 10 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish. 1 minute here is bullish as well. So we'll see here whether it closes above the pivots. See Medusa, 15-minute high-low momentum pivot scalp running, huge push, barely any retracement so far. Gotcha, okay. Hey, is it bullish, Medu? I think it is, right? It should be. Yeah, it is bullish, okay. So it's bullish and it's running pretty heavy right now. All right, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit because we don't really need all this stuff down here. News price right there. Oh, I missed the entry. There was a momentum scalp variation right there. See if I get in late. I'm gonna wait for the actual momentum scalp to come up. So this right here. Need this to actually close. I was trying to get in for a late entry, but it's kind of too late for that. This was a momentum scalp variation. You can see price closed above the pivots again right here. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this actual momentum scalp to close because I missed the entry that already hit TP. I don't know if anyone caught it. It happened too quickly. So I'm just waiting for that buy signal there to come up. It hasn't come up yet, but if it does, then that would be the actual momentum scalp. But this was a momentum scalp variation. Typically, you'll see like a momentum scalp happen right after. But it just hasn't happened yet. This might be another momentum scalp variation coming up right here. It's kind of iffy though. It's bouncing directly off the pivot. So probably just hold off for a bit. 7:51, we got about 9 minutes till 8. Let's check the order flow, see what it looks like. So this is someplace where I would use it, Barack. Like at this point right here, if I'm looking for price to push up, I'm looking for a lot of buy orders to come up right here. There's a lot of sell orders actually coming in right now. So I don't know if we'll get that buy signal anytime soon. Question from David. David's asking, so the momentum scalp. You're talking about the variation, right, David? Yeah, so for the variation, it could be any of them until a buy signal comes up. So if a buy signal comes up, then it's no longer going to be valid anymore, right? Because that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for the retracement, and then you're looking for the continuation. So basically, yeah, any candle that happens like after. Like say, for example, there's one here, that'd be considered one full TP, and another one, if it'd come up again, that'd be another one down there. But if you had a buy signal, then it starts over, because then now you have to wait for another retracement. So basically, as many times as it comes up, you can just keep re-entering. Barty's asking how to enter 1 minute, bro. I'm not trying to sound sarcastic, but you just open the 1 minute time frame and you hit buy or sell. That's how you'd enter. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm just trying to tell you exactly how you'd enter on the 1 minute. I'm not sure if like that's your question, but how you're asking how to enter on the 1 minute time frame. If you're on the 1 minute time frame, you just open the 1 minute time frame and you hit buy or sell, or whatever type of entry you're taking. That's how you'd enter on the 1 minute. I mean, if you're asking about a strategy, I can tell you, but I'm not sure. Was that your question, Barty? That's just what I took from it. I wasn't trying to be smart. Just wanted to answer your specific question. But yeah, David, basically whenever price comes back above, you can take it for another entry. Let's see this real quick. Let's see. Nice. Deswell said he just passed his FCMO challenge, his third one. Nice work, Deswell. See, Deswell's on his third account. Barty's asking, so when high low comes up, we will enter? No. The requirements are right here. Barty, I'm not sure where you got that from, but we're not entering off any high. There's no strategy where we enter off the high low. So the requirements for the strategy are right here. Same with the other strategy. None of them indicate to take it off a high low. So when the requirements are met, that's when you make the entry. It's not when there's a high low. Let's see. So there's another entry coming up right here, guys. It's pending. Barty's asking, green line is a buy signal question mark? Yeah, that is a buy signal. It's not a buy entry, but it's a buy signal. If the requirements meet for these strategies here, this would be an entry for the momentum scalp, but it's not necessary. Just because you have the buy signal doesn't mean it's like for sure going to be a buy. This candle here is kind of big though, guys. I'm going to sit out on this one. The candle is just a little too big. Looks like it's going to hit too. It's all good. I'm going to sit down on this one because it's like due for retracement. So I'm not looking to take it if it's going to retrace, especially if the candle is too big. Let's see. Stanley said, this is what I struggle with. I took that trade and it didn't hit TP, so I got stuck in it. Trade closed with a loss. So that's the thing that I was just referring to earlier, Stanley. Like you got like for this entry right here, the one that we were just talking about, right? This one hit TP, but you had to be in like right away. So if you're not in right away, or I mean, it still should have like, How do you hit your stop loss, Stanley? Let me see. You probably entered like really late then, right? I'm assuming, because if you took this trade here, it either would have hit right away, or even if it retraced right here, it's still like within, yeah, it didn't even hit. I mean, it didn't even hit stop loss. So I'm trying to figure out like, but I mean, if you took it at the same time as open, Stanley, it would have hit your TP, or even if you held on to it. The only thing I can think of is if it hit your stop loss, is if you entered like way up here. You had to enter like super late, right? Because that's the only time it would hit stop loss. If you entered any time around this area, around open, oh, you just closed it yourself. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so that's, I mean, I hate to say, bro, but that was kind of your fault, right? Because you closed it yourself. You didn't even let it run to stop loss. Yeah, if you just held on to it, it would have hit your TP right here. You just got to trust the move, Stanley. And I think that's your problem, because it's been your problem, like, before too. It's like you don't trust the strategy, so you just close out early for a loss. But if you would have just held on to it, it would have came right back up and hit your TP. But I mean, either way, if you enter right here, it would have hit your TP. And then the only way you would have lost this trade is if you enter like super late, like up here, right? But if you entered on open, you would have hit your TP right there. I mean, it'd still be up in profit right now too. Yeah, I mean, it's all good, Stanley. It happens. Yeah, you just got to trust the like what Patrick said. He said, been there, Stanley. You got to trust the process. If it hits stop loss, it hits most of the time, you'll get TP. Yeah. So like what Patrick said, it happens. You just got to trust it. Like if you're this close to stop loss, then I would just let it hit stop loss at that point. I wouldn't even bother, because you're like maybe a couple $100 away from hitting your stop loss. I would just let it run. Like I never close my trades early. The only time I close my trades early is if it's in profit already and hit TP, but it hasn't closed me out. So that's the only time I would close it early. But typically I just let the trade run. So this trade over here is still technically running. I'm not in this position right here, but I do think it'll probably hit. It's just too close to 8 o'clock. I don't like trading around 8 o'clock because the market starts to range. As you can see right here, price is starting to range already. So the range already started. I mean, it's probably enough to hit TP, but I don't really like trading in a range. So once it hits 8 o'clock, typically price will start to range, and it'll start to range pretty heavy, which is not the best time to trade at all. Because yeah, this might hit TP, but then again, it might just bounce around before it does that. Nice. Maddie said it hit his TP already. You're entered on retracement. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, no, but sorry about your trade, Stanley. Yeah, I know you haven't been around like lately, so you're probably not like in that, you don't feel confident yet about the entries, right? And the trades. So what I would recommend is if you continue to trade, I would probably trade with either a smaller lot size so that you can feel confident about it. And then once you have a couple wins, you can start moving on a full lot size. Or if you still haven't started a new challenge yet, you can even just start with the trial and just pass the trial real quick to see if, if you can stay consistent with that. But yeah, other than that, this one right here just hit TP2. So if you guys took it, solid. If you guys didn't, it's okay. This was another momentum scalp entry right here. Yeah, Patricia said, Stanley, go through the mentorship videos. Yeah. So what I would recommend, Stanley, if you have free time, just go through the mentorship videos. Like I go live like almost I go live pretty often. So if you go to the mentorship videos or just go to the YouTube channel and go to live, just watch any of these ones with the green background. If you watch the ones with the green background, you'll see that I go over all the strategies over and over and over again so that you can get comfortable with it. Because I feel like you're just not comfortable with it. I know you haven't been on the lives for a while, so you're probably not on the swing yet. But like once you get used to it and you see me doing the same thing every single day, it'll be easy for you to just enter a trade and not think about it, right? Like this one right here. I don't know if you took this one, but this one right here blasted right through TP. I didn't take it, but if you guys did take it, it looks like it would have, did you guys good. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, it looks like we're going to wrap it up for the day. We had 2 trades that we took today. We had a momentum scalp variation down here, and we had a momentum scalp right here. We had another momentum scalp right here, but I didn't take it because the candle was too big. I should have made it for a late entry because I did see price retrace right here. I could have put a buy stop there and just caught it as it came up. But the only reason I stopped is because it's close to 8. As I told you guys, I'm on a routine. So this is why I'm able to stay very consistent, because I cut off at 8. Even though this could have been a good trade and would have hit my TP, I still cut it out. Yeah, Stanley said he didn't take it, busy with his business. Hard to watch those videos if I want to get better. Yeah, I mean, whenever you have free time, Stanley, I know you're busy. You got your baby and you got your other business going. But if you have any free time, I do recommend that you go and rewatch the videos, because the thing with trading, guys, what I recommend is to never stop, right? Because if you stop and you come back to trading, you're going to be starting over again. That's just how it is. With trading, you guys can see I never stop trading. Every single day I trade, Monday through Friday. Even on the weekends, I'll study the charts sometimes. And that's the only way you'll get better, if you stay consistent. It's the same with like playing a sport or learning a language. You got to stay consistent with your practice. Definitely, Tyler. Yeah, Tyler said, thanks, Sean. Great session today. See everyone tomorrow. Definitely, Tyler. We'll see you here tomorrow morning. We have a couple more profits here to look at real quick. We got Patrick over here, total profit of 3,536 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Solid work. We have a Nelly over here, total profit of 6,254 for the day. Nice work, Nelly. He's definitely done for the day. Those last 2 had him breathing a bit hard. Yeah, I know. Whenever price starts to range like that, you definitely want to be a bit careful. And then Rashida over here, total profit of 1,960, all wins, no losses. Great work, Rashida. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. Let me see if there's anything else here for me to cover. Let's see. Question from Sam. Sam's asking, what's the name of the indicators? The indicators are all my indicators. So this is the K2 pivots, K2 momentum, K2 high low. I created all these indicators myself. So if you guys want access to the indicators, just go on the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on this link right here, unlock your free access. And then from there, you'll have the option of going through the free intro course, the actual paid course, or the live sessions right here. So that's how you'll get access to it. But the indicators, you're not going to be able to find them because they're private indicators. So you might not even be able to search them up unless you follow me on Telegram. I'm on Telegram on TradingView. So these are all private indicators that I've created. Other than that, let's see. Barty's asking, what software do you use for trades getting placed on all your accounts? I use Social Trader Tools, Barty. That's what I use. So basically, I have one main account here. This is my main account, my FTMO. That's why I have the green strip. Everything else here copies. So this is my second FTMO, MFF number 1, MFF number 2, MFF number 3. The reason why I have 3 MFFs is because they're all 200K accounts, and you can have a total of 600K with MFF. So that's why I have 3 here. I have 1 TFF here, but it sucks. Obviously I'm getting less profit, so I'm not going to open another account with them. I'll just keep this one until shit hits the fan, I guess. But other than that, I think that's it. So, all right, guys, hopefully you guys made some profit today. If you guys didn't, it's okay. We still have 2 more days this week. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Telegram or email me at sean@kodikaitrades.com. Otherwise, if you guys want access to the strategies, click on, go to the website, kodikaitrades.com. YouTube over here has all my live sessions. I've been trading live for the past 3 to 5 years. So you guys can go and rewatch any live session from any day for the past, 3 to 5 years. So everything's documented here if you guys ever want to go back and watch. But yeah, it's pretty much the same process every day, same strategy, same everything. And we'll repeat this again tomorrow. So, all right, guys, other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys on the